Today the claim I'll be refuting is that League of Legends is a serious opportunity to make a career out of. And my opponent's secondary claims are that the esports scene has grown tremendously, professional players have a steady flow of income, and you don't have to be a professional player to make a living. Going to his first secondary claim, which was the esports scene has grown tremendously, he says that the Riot's official World Champions tournaments, the prize pool had gone from $99,000 to $6 million. And this is true, but he doesn't mention how many people attended the tournaments in those years, and the lack of this information weakens the point. He also mentions that UC Irvine has a League of Legends based scholarship, but doesn't mention how much scholarship they give. And if they give very little scholarship, it won't help the students, as UC Irvine is a very expensive school, and the tuition fee alone is $11,000. Going to his second secondary claim, which is professional players have a steady flow of income, he says that each player gets $12,500 per split, and there are 2 splits per year, which is $25K a year. $25K a year is not enough. The article, How Much Money Makes to Live Comfortably in the 50 Biggest U.S. Cities by Business Insider, mentions that all the states in U.S. have different wages, but the least out of the whole list was $39K in Arizona. This is still a lot more than what a professional League of Legends player would receive in a year. Although he does go on to say that players can receive further money from sponsorships, there's no guarantee to this. It really depends on the player. He gives an example about a player making $900,000 in sponsors alone, but this is a big amount, but it's only one example, and this could easily be an exception. Only one example reduces the value of the point. And also from the same article he used, which was from lolsmurfs.com, it says that only the most popular League of Legends professional gamers will be sponsored for big money. He also mentions how players can get money through streaming alone. He again only gives one example of this, which was I'm a Cutie Pie makes $8,000. We don't know how much other players may make. He says that people can subscribe to players on their channel for $5. This is beneficial for the streamer, but according to how exactly do Twitch streamers make a living from .esports, it says that the split with Twitch is $3 to $2. So this is 40% of the money earned goes to Twitch, and this is a big amount in the long run. Also, players roughly work around 60 hours a week, which is 20 hours more than your average full-time employee. And this is a lot of time commitment and will affect a player's work and personal life balance a lot. So if a player doesn't make that much money for this job, it would be very difficult for them to get another job due to time issues. This contradicts David's secondary claim that professional players have a steady flow of income. Although professional players may make a certain amount of income, it isn't steady. According to Can Professional Gaming Be a Legitimate Career Path by Level Skip, online gaming doesn't ensure long-term benefits or retirement plans. A gaming career is very unstable. After 30 years of age, which is a peak age for mental and physical abilities, it will be difficult to keep up with the younger competitors. In Business Insider's article by Jacob Harrison, it says that with high pressure and low job security, gamers play up to 14 hours a day to stay on top of their craft, all while devoting their formative years to skills that may have little marketable value later in life. His third secondary claim was that you don't have to be a professional player to make a living. Yes, one doesn't have to be a professional player to make a living, but is what they earn enough? He mentions that Riot Games is constantly hiring and increasing its staff, but he doesn't have enough evidence to back this up. There are no statistics to show this. He mentions that there are 30 different departments available to apply to, including internships. And this is true, but he doesn't mention any requirements or experience needed to be able to apply for these positions. How good does a non-professional player have to be? Is there a certain level they must be at? On the website of Riot Games, it mentions that they're hiring for varying levels of XP, but they don't mention the exact details, and people who don't meet their requirements might waste time in applying and not even get the position they wanted. David also mentions that players like NightBlue3 make loads of money off Twitch, YouTube, and even sponsors. He should have used more examples to support his point. And to partner with Twitch, the newcomers to Twitch who have previous videos on YouTube need 15,000 plus views per video and 100,000 plus subscribers. This is hard and may take a long time to achieve. For YouTube, according to Bustle's article by Katru Levine, 3 ways of making money on YouTube is to put ads at the start of the videos, use sponsorship, and use Patreon, which is a website where fans may donate money. If viewers are using AdBlock, the creator won't make any money. The money creators get from these ads is seasonal. In holiday, companies tend to make more advertisement and more profit is made, but in the rest of the year, it's very little. And also a lot of sponsored videos, there's a lot of people commenting on how annoying it gets and from different forums as well, and this can cause a decrease in the number of viewers. And one can't simply rely on Patreon since not all the fans are going to donate. The amount of money a player can make on YouTube also relies on the average amount of views you get on a video. There's less chance for a non-professional player to get a lot of views as it takes a lot of time to get recognition on YouTube. This makes this path in the career very risky. Thank you.
All right, organizationally, everything is good. On the first point, I think that you asked some good questions about how many people are paying and attending and that sort of thing, and whether or not the scholarship is sufficient. That's basically responding to the singular example that the advocate had on that particular point. And those are okay presses on that. To me, the strength of your argument is in the second and the second point, especially where there's a very thorough development of what the economics are of surviving and making a career out of something versus what the likelihood is that anybody's going to be able to do this. And I thought you had a lot of good information here to suggest that we have isolated examples that are being reasoned from, that the amount of money that they get is not sufficient in order for them to live on, even in the cheapest of states. That there are costs that are involved in doing these sorts of things, that the occupations that are related to development that don't have anything to do with playing the game aren't very well defined, and you have no way of assuring that. There was one piece of information that you had here that said that they spend 14 hours a day sometimes trying to hone their skills and keep up on this, which means that they don't really have time to do a lot of other things. And you mentioned, for example, that they might work up to 60 hours a week, which would make it difficult for them to have an additional job in order to survive on. I think that that's a good point. I also thought it was interesting that you had a good piece of evidence that said, your peak period is before you're 30. By the time you're 30, you're in bad shape in relationship to being competitive in these situations, and so it's not a long-term kind of thing. So I'm glad that Cutie Pie, whatever it is making $8,000 a month until let's say a particular age. But how steady is that? I thought you raised very good questions about how steady that is going to be, especially on the third point. All right, lots of good evidence there. Thank you.